So let's talk about the journey of, so people, I oftentimes think it's interesting that, you know, when you're shopping and you go and you grab a Chamberlain coffee from the shelf, you don't really think about how it gets there.
Totally.
And wow, the effort and the journey and adventure of getting a Chamberlain can of coffee to the shelf is no small feat. How's it been for you?
Oh, it's been a journey. It is a journey. It is totally a journey. I mean, I think when it comes to, especially, the ready to drink, it's been such a new experience because, it's one thing to sell what I like to call sort of a raw material, right? Like coffee beans, matcha powder, right? These are raw materials. People take them into their own hands and they turn it into whatever they want, right? It's like they add their own other ingredients. It's a raw material. And this is completely different, right? Like, and we, when it came to going into retail, we went heavy with the ready to drink. We were like, this is the perfect product. And it is. It's exactly how we want to show ourselves, I think, or a really huge piece of how we want to show ourselves, at retail. But it's challenging because it's just a whole new world. Like you're going based on, it's something that somebody opens and they drink and it is what it is.
Right. And you've figured out the flavor profile, then
Yes.
you've done that for them.
But the thing is, everybody's different.
Absolutely.
So like, when we came out with our initial line, and it was very like, it's for the coffee snob, you know what I mean? It has a strong coffee flavor. That's that. But for people who prefer maybe more of a sweeter sort of option, it was like, wait, those people need their drink too. So it's I think what I've learned through it is it's so important to have options, if possible, to diversify the range of what you have, and so that you can appeal to as many people as possible and satisfy as many people as possible. I'm gonna have to burp. But I think that is what has been so interesting. Like, the development of the range is, I think, what people maybe wouldn't think too much about. When it comes to formulating, especially a beverage in a can, it is so complicated. I had no idea going into it. It is so complicated because, it's not just like putting, a normal like coffee that you make at home into a can.
Right.
It has to be shelf stable. It has to be, it goes through this retort process and it gets heated to this really high temperature, and there's all this stuff that happens that like no one knows about, and it changes the flavor profile. So sometimes after the retort, it's like, no, it doesn't taste right. You have to go back in and you have to tweak it again and tweak it again and tweak it again. And you're tweaking for literally so long until you finally get to a place where you're happy with it. But it's not as easy as just like, you can't just take make a really big batch of what you make at home and put it into cans.
Put it in a can. No, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. It's like you're trying to mimic it using sort of ingredients that are meant for going into a can, and it's like just different chemical compositions. It's chemistry in there.
And can, right?
And
the
can, too.
Changes the flavor as
Totally.
well. Everything.
Everything. And so it's been so, getting it to a place where we're happy with it. And we're like, this is what we want. And this is at the level that we want. It has been, and also working with alternative milks as well too. Like I wanted to do almond and coconut milk. I wanted to do oat milk. That's a different journey as well. Like that's a completely different journey. It's a different flavor profile. It's a different, texture. There's so many like little details, and we've spent hours in there like testing and testing and testing to get it right. And it's so fun. I mean, it's so fun. You You get caffeinated that day, but yeah, but it's so fun. But
You do that earlier in the day versus later in the day.
Yes, yes, and you don't have a coffee beforehand.
That's right.
But I think just the sort of development process is like, it's so long. It's longer than I thought. And I thought I could just say to, the formulators, okay, this is my idea.
Run with it.
See you in a month. Try it. Gonna love it. Send it off. It's so much more than that. It's so much more than that. But I think that that's what makes a product stand out, is that it's something that was created by a very unique group of people. And that's what makes it different than the next product over. You know what I mean? That's what makes it special. Both are special, but it's a different take.